Right, question 9, more of the same. So I have f of x, which is my parabola, and I have g of x, which is my straight line. Once again, they're very kind, giving me both equations for both functions. A and B is my x-intercepts, C is my y-intercept. I can work all of that out using the parabola. So let's see. So x-intercepts, that means I'm going to make y 0. I have 0 equals x squared plus 4x minus 12. That means that I can go and say that this is plus 6 minus 2. So x is negative 6 or x is 2. Now looking at my graph, that means A will have minus 6 and 0, and B will have 2 and 0. They didn't ask me for the coordinates, they asked me for the length. So OA is 6 units, and OB is 2 units. To get the y-intercept, I'm going to make x 0. So y works out to be negative 12. That means C is 0 and minus 12. Lengthwise, OC is 12 units, and that's for question A. Now they ask me to work out the coordinates of P. Now looking at P and A, they are 2 points of intersection, which means I know that those two equations will be equal to one another, which means I end up with a quadratic equation. Move everything to one side. That's going to give me minus 24 equals 0. Factorize it. So x times by x. And I need to get 2. So I'm going to use plus 6 minus 4. So x is negative 6 or x is 4. Now negative 6 I know belongs to A, which means P will have an x value of 4. How do I get the y value? Well, I'm going to substitute the x value into any one of those two functions. So it's going to be 8 plus 12 is 20. So I'm going to have 4 and 20. Right. Where are we now? We are now going to calculate the length of RS if S is the turning point. Now, out of the equation given to me, y equals x squared plus 4x minus 12, they are forcing me to work out the turning point by using the x coordinate and then substituting it to get the y coordinate. So it's minus 4 over 2 times 1. So it's going to be negative 2. Therefore, the y coordinate is going to be minus 2 squared plus 4 times minus 2 minus 12. That's 4 minus 8. That's minus 16, if I'm right. Let's make sure. 4 minus 8, yes, minus 16. So my turning point for S is then going to be negative 2, negative 16. That means what? That means that R shares the same x value, okay? And that means that I can find the y coordinate by substituting it in. So 2 times negative 2 plus 12, that leaves me with an 8. So to get from 8 to minus 24, minus 16 is going to be 24 units. Right, so if I look at D, determine the lengths BD, QB, and EC. So if I look at that, BD, D and P shares the same x coordinate. Okay, so if I know the value, the P coordinate is 4, B I know was a 2, so BD, 2 to 4 is 2 units. QB, well, Q will share the same x coordinate as B. So Q will be at 2. Q is on the straight line, so I have 2 times 2 plus 12. So y is equal to 4 plus 12 is 16. That means that QB is 16 units. And EC, it's the y-intercepts. So if I work out, I'm going to try and squeeze it in here at the bottom. So I know that I'm lying, that C is at 0 and minus 12. I can get E if I haven't worked out. So E is the y-intercept, so I'm going to make x 0. Y works out to be 12. So E is at 0 and 12. So to go from E to C, EC will be 24 units. And that's it for question 9.